Remind your critics when they say you don't have the expertise or experience to do something that an amateur built the Ark and the experts built the Titanic. The attitude with which we approach the situation can determine our success or failure. If you wait for others to initiate change, you automatically become a follower. I never left the field saying I could have done more to get ready, and that gives me peace of mind. Pressure is something you feel when you don't know what the hell you're doing. Anyone who waits for someone else to make a change automatically becomes the follower. I love being coached. I get angry when I'm not coached. I ask a lot of questions and certainly appreciate any insight and feedback. I think if you ever stop listening to coaching or stop asking questions, you probably need to be doing something else. You hear about how many fourth quarter comebacks that a guy has, and I think it means a guy screwed up in the first 3 quarters. I committed my life to Christ, and that faith has been most important to me ever since. In life and in sports, we know that nothing lasts forever. The same year, the greatest physical gift, football, the Lord gave me was taken away from me. I was blessed with the greatest gift any of us could have in 2 beautiful children. I'd take that trade every day of the week. In life and in sports, we all know that nothing lasts forever. If you work hard and you play well, all those critics quiet themselves pretty quickly. Boy, do I hate to lose. If nothing else in life, I want to be true to the things I believe in and quite simply to what I'm all about. I know I'd better because it seems whenever I take a false step or two, I feel the consequences. When you take a year off from football, you come back for all the enjoyable moments. When you're not playing, you miss out on all the highs, but you also miss these disappointments. But I would rather be in the arena to be excited or be disappointed than not have a chance at all. That's football. That's why everybody plays it. To all the fantasy owners who drafted me, you're welcome. When people are watching you, it makes you think twice about what you do and the things you say and the people you hang around with. I think email is kind of a cheap way to communicate. It's a lazy way of writing a letter, you know. My dad told us up front, guys, if you want to play sports, go ahead, but it's your decision. I was never on a mission to be an NFL quarterback. I wanted to be a good high school player, and I worked hard at that. That made me good enough to play in college, and then I wanted to be a good college quarterback. During college, I played well enough to make it into the NFL. I never took it for granted and really wanted to play hard at each level, and I have always had a lot of fun doing what I wanted to do. My high school coach, Tony Reginelli, was kind of famous for Reggieisms, kind of like Yogiisms. He always said if you want to be a good quarterback, when sprinting left, you want to be amphibious and throw left-handed. I told him, "You mean ambidextrous, coach?" I think I could describe the perfect quarterback. Take a little piece of everybody. Take John Elway's arm, Dan Marino's release, maybe Troy Aikman's drop back, Brett Favre's scrambling ability, Joe Montana's 2-minute poise, and, naturally, my speed. Being there every week for my teammates is really important to me. It's about accountability. I hear stuff about the toughest quarterback in the league and all that. What's that mean? After a loss like this, we just have to go back and work harder. We got outplayed, and that's all there is to it. You have to let it go. Move on and just work harder. I'd like people to understand that I do have some personality. I've been being asked about my legacy since I was about 25 years old. I'm not sure you can have a legacy when you're 25 years old, even 37. I'd like to have to be, like, 70 to have a legacy. I'm not even 100% sure what the word even means. Nobody really wants to hear about anybody else's injuries, or how your back feels. Whose back doesn't hurt? It goes without saying, winning against a good team in a hostile crowd on the road, it's just an absolutely huge win. Whatever happens, happens. I can't give you a prediction because Jim Irsay, and I will sit down at some point and he'll get a feel for where I am, and I'll get a sense of what direction he wants to go. Right now, I have no idea. Some guys need to see things on a grease board. I like when you can see it in your mind. And that's what Marvin does, too. He visualizes. He sees things in his mind so well. If your team is going to win, you need to play better than the other quarterback. I walked around for a while, angry, in a bad mood. Woe is me. I've gotten over that. It doesn't do any good. I don't like to play favorites, and I do try to spread the ball around. But there's an old rule. You throw to the guys who get open in practice. The game was much like our season. This game tested our toughness, our resilience, our unselfishness. It's only fitting that it turned out this way. This is a great bunch of guys to play with. I feel very, very grateful. I would like to think I will be a guy who knows when it's time to stop. I don't want to be a guy who hung on and hung on. I do not have a goal in mind of a year or a statistic. My job is to play well offensively and help my team score points. So I feel very responsible every time we lose a game. I've never taken for granted what we've had, not for one single game, not one single practice. I've truly been blessed. Some people have this impression of me. Boy, he's always so serious on the field. Football, football, football. I feel one of the most significant honors a player can have in his sport is to have his number retired. Certainly for me to have that at Tennessee, it's with great pride. I've been a Colt for almost all of my adult life. But I guess in life and in sports, we all know nothing lasts forever. Times change. Circumstances change, and that's the reality of playing in the NFL. I understand the seriousness of concussions. The head coach tells us what to do, and we follow his orders. When you get a lot of money thrown at you, you can make some dumb decisions without the right advice. In the NFL game today, there are a lot of better athletes than I am, and quarterbacks these days are faster than the quarterbacks have always been. They're running like crazy. But I kind of stick to my roots of the disciplined quarterback. You know, I'm doing the same routine every week, studying tapes and working hard, getting ready to play, and making good decisions on Sundays.